Welcome back, everyone. Video number 5 coming at you. Before we jump back into the city, though, I wanted to quit the game. Wait a second. Let me save my game just real quick. And I want to show you the mods I'm using. To the main menu. I'm not going to go through every one of them, but the important ones I will highlight. To get to the current mods that I have, just go into the Content Manager and select Mods. Here you'll see the built-in ones that the game offers: Hard Mode, Unlimited Money, Unlock All. That means every tool in your toolbars are unlocked and you can use them immediately. Extended Road Upgrade. This is good. It allows you to upgrade between 1- and 2-way roads and change one-way road directions. The current game, the vanilla game, I don't think allows that currently. Extended Public Transport User Interface, that's good. It tells you a lot more information than the generic game. Automatic Bulldoze, y'all saw this earlier in the industry where one of the buildings caught on fire and burned to the ground. Automatic Bulldoze just goes in and cleans that up for me. Saves me a lot of time. Precision engineering, when building roads, you saw that when I'm dragging out a new road, it's going to show me the angle to the existing road. You can also hold down the shift and get more information as well. That's a pretty good one. First person camera, this is cool. This is the one where I was able to jump into the driver's seat of the dude going home and watch the scenery change as he makes his way home. That's pretty cool. That's called first person camera. Let's see. Pedestrian crossing is kind of cool. It just allows you to place a crosswalk anywhere in the game. No pillars. That's kind of a cheat. I don't use it very often, but it allows you to place elevated roads or railways or whatever without pillars, without the supporting pillar to hold it up. It's kind of lets it just float in the air, and it's a lot easier to place those in a crowded city when you don't have to worry about the pillars where they're landing. And finally, the road color changer. As you notice, my roads are much more darker than the vanilla game. I just like that look, and road color changer is the mod I use to do that. Okay, let's go back and let's continue our game. And in this video, we're going to talk about districts. Districts are really cool because they allow you to chop up your game into sections, and each section can have its own different tax code. It can have its own policies, and we'll show you that now. Now here our city's growing just fine. We suddenly have a high demand of residential, and that's what we'll focus on shortly. But notice there, I noticed that in the videos, this red number is hard to read. We're currently at it's bouncing back and forth between positive and 0. So that means we're pretty well balanced right now, but that ain't our objective. We want to make money if we can, but because that's how we add things. So as we add more people in industry, this number will obviously grow, but we'll worry about that in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and pause the game, and I'm going to select the district tool. And when you select that, you'll see you have several icons here. The main one at the far left is the paint district tool. This allows you to actually go in, and with this red dot you can actually paint a new district. And I'm just going to color in the residential here, and like so. That's residential there, and when I release it, watch what happens. It gives it a name, Fairview Square. Now I do have some other tools. I have a smaller brush as well if I want to come in here and maybe fine-tune this. And again, this works very similar to the other tools. I can right-click and squeeze this in here, so to speak. I can left-click and drag this out a little bit so that we can accommodate houses here on the outside. So that little small tool really comes in handy. And then of course you have the gigantic brush, which is handy when you're zoomed way out and you're wanting to paint perhaps a large area. We could come in here to industry and just plop a big circle here to get us started. But then we'll switch to the fine tool to kind of tweak this and zone it in, so like so. And I'm going to save this. Let's go ahead and create a commercial zone as well. Now you do have to be careful when these bump up against each other. Notice that little thick line there. Sometimes it helps to really zoom in so you can see better. But yeah, this will be our residential district, and notice it gives it a random name, Thornton District. This up here is now called Cozy Hills. Sweet. And we now have our square. Now at any time I can change the name of these districts. How do I do that? Well, just if you go to your policy and you select the district, it'll tell you the name here, and I can just select this and call this Sugarland. Sugarland, there we go. This is where our residents live, in Sugarland. So that's a real easy way to change the name. But notice in this district, that's weird. Oh, maybe I need to start my game. Let's see. No. I guess it may take a while to update. Normally it'll show you the population of Sugarland, number of people, how many households, weekly tours, visits. No specialization yet. Okay. What it's talking about as specialization is if we go back to our district tool, you'll see that you have these other flavors of districts. Currently, we can create three: forest industry, farming, and generic industry. Now, what I'll do here is just make this generic industry. That's how I did it. I just simply selected the zone, or the district rather, and clicked this, and that made it that. Now, farming industry and timber industry come in handy, and if you come up to the upper left hand corner, this game has some great info views built into it. You can select this icon, and here I can select natural resources, and if I zoom way out, we can see all kinds of different shades. Obviously yellow means fertile farmland, or perhaps that's a lime green. Dark green is obviously forest, and I don't have much room to move around yet, but up here you can see oil, it's black. And finally the light blue over here on the far left, that's our ore deposits. So if we create industry over these zones, and then we apply a district to it for that purpose, you're going to start seeing industry pop up there. And let's do that now. I want to create a new zone. Now, I was talking about this earlier, but I'm going to create it right here. You may say, why are you creating it there? Well, I'll explain in a minute. And I'm going to come down here and encroach actually into my residential just a little bit. I'm going to put it here too. And right here. Okay, good. And actually I'm going to come all the way up here with it as well. So now that creates us a new zone called Forest Park. Now it would make sense to make it a forest industry, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to make it a farming industry. And see the little tractor there pop up? That tells me it's a farming industry now. So now if I come in here and I zone this as commercial, I'm going to use my marquee tool here because I want to be very specific on what I zone. If we go back to our district tool, you're going to start seeing farming businesses take over here. And you're saying, well, why would you do that here? Because there is no farming resources here. There is no light green like here. This is where the fertile land is at. Well, believe it or not, they'll still start building farming industry. Even though the land says it doesn't support it, it'll still work. Why did I do that? Because here's a tip. When you zone a district as forest or even farming, like I've done here, farming industry doesn't create ground pollution. So businesses will be able to come in here and set up shop right next to residential without pissing these guys off. So that's why I do that. That's a little trick you can take with you. So we'll let that go. Let's go ahead and turn the city back on. Let's see if we, yeah, they're already coming in here. Let's see who's popping up. Bread and Beyond, okay. Ready sliced fruit, nice. Beefcakes, all right. Love the beefcakes, the real cereal. Okay. So our residential does need a little love. Let's come in here and let's plop us a new road. I want to create a new one-way street. Notice I'm maximizing my grid layout. I'll connect it to that. And now we'll just plop in some regular industry here. We'll just turn that on there. And let's pump up the speed a little bit. And hopefully we'll see our indicator start coming down as the industry moves in. Hey, look at there. Another milestone. Awesome. We have hit Tiny Town. We now have decorations to play with. We got some new policies we can implement. We also have a high school that we could plop down. Speaking of schools, we don't have one, and I think our residents are going to start screaming at us before long if we don't give them at least an elementary school to get them started. So, yeah, Tiny Town, all right. I think that is the perfect place to stop. We have leveled up to Tiny Town, 1,400 people, and we'll have some new tools to play with when we come back. All right, guys, video number 5 is in the bag. Thanks for watching. This is Shane. Oh, one last thing. I do want to name my city First City, and to do that, I've already done it. But to do that, you just click on the eye down here, and you can actually come up here and change it. That's how you name the city. So I called mine First City because that's what my new videos are saying. So why not name it that? So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll come back and use our new tools on the next video. Take care.